Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm your very own Fariha Farouk and you're watching 360 Digital English. This week, Pakistan did not follow the news. It defined it. From Riyadh to Kabul and from Washington to Islamabad, every headline connects to one reality. Pakistan's rising strategic command, its assertive diplomacy, and its refusal to bow before propaganda. Tonight we break down three major developments shaping the regional and global narrative. First, the Riyadh-Islamabad Defense Pact distorted by hostile media but grounded in fact and strategic depth. Second, the National Resistance Front of Afghanistan's warning to India for backing the terrorist Taliban network. And third, global recognition of Pakistan's diplomatic ascendancy as foreign policy. One of America's top magazines acknowledges Pakistan as the diplomatic victor of the region. Let's begin. Segment 1, Fact Check, Riyadh-Islamabad Defense Pact. Let me first state the false claim by First Post, 24 October 2025. The First Post article, Military Boots in Saudi Arabia, Petrodollar in Pakistan, claims Pakistan will deploy around 25,000 soldiers, 4 army brigades with armored artillery, infantry and rocket forces, 2 Air Force squadrons, 2 naval fleets to Saudi Arabia under a Lieutenant General's command for joint operations and training. Next, Pakistan will help establish an air defense and rocket force command supplying ammunition, mortars, tanks and short-range missiles. The next claim, Saudi Arabia will purchase Chinese JF-17 and J-10 aircraft and in return invest $10 billion in Pakistan's economy, energy, mining and security sectors while also assisting diplomatically with Afghanistan and India. Another reality. Number 1. The operational details of the pact have not been released either by KSA or Pakistan. Thus, any detail of operational cooperation is unverified and based on mere speculation. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia signed a strategic mutual defense agreement on 17 September 2025. Both governments released a joint statement affirming that any aggression against either country shall be considered an aggression against both, verified by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Pakistan and Saudi Press Agency. Number 2. No verified record of 25,000 troops deployment or composition. Neither country has confirmed troop numbers, brigades, or command arrangements. Major outlets, Reuters, AP, FT, and Al Jazeera reported the pact but did not mention deployments. The 25,000 troops claim circulated mainly via Indian media, the Godi media, and speculative commentary. Means rubbish. Number 3. Weapons transfer and rocket command plans lack corroboration. Public documents and statements provide only general references to enhanced defense cooperation. No verified MOUs or procurement schedules exist. Such transfers would normally appear in procurement notices or press releases, which are absent, and this too is verified in the Aviation Week. Point number 4. $10 billion investment figure remains aspirational. Riyadh and Islamabad are in talks over investments similar to discussions with other nations. Reuters reports expectation closer to $1 billion initial commitments contingent on follow-up agreements. Point number 5. JF-17, J-10 jet purchase unconfirmed. Defense procurements are made as per operational needs. Hence, discussion at this stage remains a speculation again. Coming to the conclusion. Genuine? The Strategic Mutual Defense Agreement of September 17, 2025 and its Collective Defense Clause are genuine. Unverified and misleading? The claim. 25,000 troops deployment, detailed force composition, weapon transfer, and guaranteed $10 billion investment lack confirmation, and official sources, well, let's just forget about what they have to say. This narrative is yet another attempt by Indian media to distort Pakistan's achievements and promote disinformation campaigns inimical to Pakistan's interests. Well, here comes the advisory, best practice. Treat the existence of the pact as fact, based on official joint statements. treat all detailed operational claims as unverified until supported by MOUs or joint statements. Always verify reports with Pakistan's MOFA, the Pakistan Army, or the Saudi Press Agency. Pakistan's credibility needs no defense. Facts defend it better than words. Segment 2, National Resistance Front's warning to India. Serious warning from the National Resistance Front of Afghanistan to the government of India for supporting the terrorist Taliban group in Afghanistan. The National Resistance Front of Afghanistan has for the second time and in a stronger tone warned India to immediately stop supporting the Taliban and other militant groups operating inside Afghanistan. Supporting groups responsible for the massacre of innocent Afghan civilians is immoral, disgraceful, and exposes India as a state nurturing terrorism while pretending to be a democracy. Reports confirm that India has decided to reopen its embassy in Kabul under the Taliban administration, effectively legitimizing the very group responsible for countless atrocities. Such support will not go unanswered. The NRF has declared that if India continues these ties, its diplomats and representatives in Afghanistan will be treated as legitimate targets in Afghanistan's liberation struggle. Moreover, Afghan resistance groups have hinted at reviving cooperation with the Khalistan movement, uniting freedom struggles against Indian oppression. The statement also recalls the massacre of 15,000 Sikhs between 1985 to 1990, when their temples were destroyed and communities targeted by Indian forces. The NRF leadership has urged India to end all ties with the Taliban. ISIS and TTP warning that failure to do so will make India fully responsible for future consequences. A warning rooted in memory and powered by resistance, one that India can ignore only at its own peril. And now segment 3, global recognition, Pakistan redefines diplomacy. Pakistan's successful diplomacy has caught global attention, this time acknowledged by Foreign Policy, one of America's most influential magazines. In its latest feature, Foreign Policy calls Islamabad the diplomatic victor of the region. It credits Pakistan's balanced foreign policy and strong civil-military coordination for reshaping South Asia's diplomatic map. According to the report, over the past 6 months, Pakistan has revived relations with the United States, deepened partnerships with China, signed new agreements with Turkey, Malaysia, and Iran, and forged a strategic defense pact with Saudi Arabia, creating what the magazine calls a new wave of regional diplomacy. It highlights Pakistan's arrest of the ISIS Khorasan terrorist behind the Kabul airport attack, calling it a turning point in counter-terror cooperation with Washington. U.S. CENTCOM Chief General Michael Kurilla described Pakistan's efforts as exceptional and effective. The magazine further notes that Pakistan's renewed ties with Washington have caused visible cracks in US-India relations as India fears losing its diplomatic dominance. It recalls the tense Trump-Modi call that strained relations and Trump's later offer to mediate on Kashmir, signaling Islamabad's re-emergence as a regional power broker. Field Marshal General Syed Asim Munir's 2-hour meeting with Trump in June, followed by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's engagement and Pakistan's leading role in the Gaza Peace Conference. They have all amplified Islamabad's global standing. Foreign Policy concludes that Pakistan's strategic balance, maintaining strong ties with the US, China, and Saudi Arabia simultaneously, has transformed it into a key global player. This is not recognition sought, it is recognition earned. And now, my own analysis. What connects Riyadh, Kabul, and Washington is one thread: Pakistan's strategic clarity. The defense pact with Saudi Arabia is not symbolic. It is structural, built on deterrence and shared strength. The NRF's warning exposes India's collapsing regional narrative, its double standards of democracy and terror laid bare. On the foreign policy, recognition proves what Pakistan has long known, that this nation stands not as a spectator, but as a strategic force shaping the region's future. This is not reaction. This is calculated assertion. Our diplomacy, our defense, and our doctrine. Aligned, disciplined, decisive. Pakistan's alliances are strategic, its vision long-term, and its sovereignty non-negotiable. The world no longer defines Pakistan. Pakistan defines the world around it. This is the era of decisive Pakistan. Confident, credible, commanding. I'm your very own Fariha Farooq signing off. This is 360 Digital English. Take care. Allah Hafiz.